45% of CEOs think that their company will not exist in 10 years in its current incarnation. That is the definition of the adaptation imperative. Companies and executives need to adapt, or else they will no longer be relevant. They will no longer be viable. They will no longer be in business. That's huge. What we're seeing right now is leaders struggling to keep up with this adaptation. They often think that they just need to get through this one change and then that's it. And often these changes start off as things that don't really look like a crisis or a big deal. So think of it as the frog in the hot water. It's just hot at first, and then all of a sudden it's boiling, and it's just gradually gotten much, much worse. That's what's happening with the need to adapt right now. People start off with something little, and then all of a sudden it becomes something big, and they don't realize how big it is. So what started with COVID and, remote workforce has now blossomed into a whole debate about what does this look for the future. That is just one example of the many factors that are changing in the world today around our businesses. Workforce, tariffs, government policies, AI, all these things are coming and they're not going to stop. This will continue at this pace. Companies need to learn how to be more resilient and more adaptable. We can look back and see many examples of failures of companies and industries that didn't take advantage of inflection points. For example, the printing industry in the 80s, when digital presses came into being. If printing companies didn't invest in the digital technology, they eventually went out of business because they were just not competitive. Look at Kodak. They had innovation. They invented camera, wonderful technologies, but they couldn't let go of what had made them successful, and they couldn't evolve with the times. Those are two different examples of industries and companies getting stuck. And right now, to be viable, these 45% of CEOs know that they have to get unstuck. We are here to help leaders figure out to be able to adapt on an ongoing basis, strategically and quickly. Let's chat.